Morning everyone, welcome to DOdaily, wake up to walk. It's Daz here. On a bright sunny day, looking to attack stage 5 of the Clockwalk 60. Having set off from the point where I finished last time out, just outside the village of Canalton on the busy A46. Today I'm looking to cover approximately 5 miles, passing through the South Notts countryside, the village of Widmerpool, before coming to a conclusion in the village of Weissall. With a little bit of extra time, due to it being Bank Holiday Friday, really looking forward to taking in my surroundings and everything this particular stage has got to offer. Also, having walked 18 miles through North Nottinghamshire yesterday with some friends, feeling a little tired, so not having all the usual things I have to do after the walk is a real bonus. I can take lots of pictures, check them out at the end, check out the previous episodes of course in this playlist, see how I'm getting on in the Notts Clockwalk walk, which circumnavigates the city of Nottingham, the surrounding countryside and all the towns and villages along the way. Approximately halfway through today's walk, just passed through the outskirts of the village of Widmerpool, and in reality, other than all of this absolutely stunning countryside, there's not been that much to see. Taking it in nonetheless. What I am thankful for is the first person I've come across actually stopped me from getting lost and point me in the right direction. So grateful for that, but just grateful for all of this. Just show you that again on the horizon there. You probably won't be able to see it, but I can just about pick out the city of Nottingham, and it's just a great viewpoint. And I always love one of those. So again, taking from this absolutely what I can. Just one small point of interest. About a mile in, I passed across the old Great Northern Railway line, which trains used to run on from London to Manchester via Nottingham Victoria Station. It's no longer used, not been used for a long time now, about 60 years. But interestingly, they still test London Underground trains on the line. Occasionally when you're driving in this part of the world, you'll see them going back and forth and testing the new tube trains. So it's great to see that, but like I say, it's just a case of enjoying the surroundings, pushing on. Really warm, got those endorphins flowing, but feeling really good about what I'm doing. As I progress towards the end of today's walk, I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about progress I feel I've made myself this week. Of course, on a Friday, I always look to reflect and process everything that's gone before, in the hope of staying positive and enthusiastic, taking the lessons learnt into the weekend and beyond. But this week, I feel I've particularly learnt lessons and understood so much about myself, how things have come about, happened in my adult life. That trip to Wembley last weekend, whilst it was absolutely amazing watching Forest get promoted to the Premier League, it also sparked a few memories, made me think of my personal journey, which happens to coincide with Forest coming full circle. Didn't intend on getting deep over it all, but felt really emotionally charged, really sort of hit home, you know, how happy and content I am now, and how Forest have made me feel fantastic, along with all the other things that are so good in my life. This year I'm getting married, I've got a marathon to train for, and I realised as the week progressed that through all that excitement, through being emotionally charged and, you know, learning those lessons, to get that again, I kind of need to temper all that just a little bit. I'm not forgetting all the enjoyment I took from football and the time I've invested in that, and that's why that's so important. Not forgetting that one bit. Still absolutely buzzing for it. But for when the next thing comes along, to get there, I need to do all the things that I've kind of built up. I need to be as excited about the wedding. I need to be as excited about the marathon training. And that just meant tempering what had happened there and getting back to some sort of routine as quickly as possible. I took a few days, don't get me wrong. It wasn't until Wednesday where I made a conscious effort to speak about and do all the things I normally do through DOdaily. Talk about getting my routines in, getting out and about, taking enjoyment from the other things. You know, one thing we can be in danger of is when something euphoric happens like that, we can almost get a little bit too carried away, and then there's a come down period to some degree. But because I've got so much to look forward to, what I'm hoping to do is channel my commitment and dedication to the football cause, to Forest, into every other aspect. And if I can, because I know what I had to remember, I guess, is I get as much enjoyment from those things as I do from the football. Whilst I absolutely love it, there's much more than just the football these days. So that's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Because I can use different things from different aspects of my life to just keep ticking over. And sometimes it's a case of that. Like I said, the last thing I'd want is that wheel come down and start feeling sorry for myself. As a football fan, in previous years, when the season ends, you know, it's all like, oh God, there's no football. But for me, I enjoy cricket, for example, something else I've done this week. So I've been doing that, thinking again about training, making plans, and it's all so important. And that lesson I learned, you know, at the start of the week, over the weekend, watching the football match, where I did get really, really emotional. And as someone who's quite calm and thoughtful, it's not something I really do. I know sometimes the two come in hand, but I'm not particularly emotional in that sense. So having been a little bit confused to start with, I just realised how important it was, and it made me realise how important everything else is as well. Hopefully that makes sense, but having this time again just allows me to try and process it that little bit more, try and understand it, get it out here, you know, help people understand where I'm at, why I want to make sense of it, why I feel having this time is important. Sorry, the wind's picked up just a little bit, hopefully it's not distracting too much, but why it's all important for me to almost sign off, put that little side of it to bed, and then move forward and enjoy whatever's next. The second part to this walk has kind of been a bit of a challenge, a bit like what I've been through with those thoughts. The first part was absolutely amazing in terms of views. Don't get me wrong, I've really enjoyed the second part too, but just wandered a little bit off track. Now I'm looking forward again, and that gives me a great opportunity to let you know what I'll be doing at the weekend, which is actually not very much. So again, extending from what I've been talking about today, sort of calming myself down, taking things that little bit easier. I can do that. Normally I'd be talking about a really epic weekend, but for this one, you know, I've not actually got that many plans. And after all that excitement over the last couple of weeks, being happy and as content as I am, almost trying to remind myself of what next, it's a great place to be. Stage 5 of the Knox Clockwalk complete. The 5 miles I set out to do, with a few detours along the way, became 6 miles. But I have to say, I think that's possibly my favourite stage so far. Really enjoyed the views in particular, but also an opportunity to take so much more time to enjoy what I do every Friday. Seems to have cleared my mind, the fresh air, the sun on my face, can never fault that. Does so much to put us in a good mood. So going into this particular weekend, really looking forward to it for all the reasons I've mentioned. Once again, hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. And for now, have an absolutely amazing weekend. Whatever's in store for you, I encourage you to make the most of it. Do it your way. Until Monday, where we go again, we always go again. Just doing it.